Good morning, students. In continuation with the topic power sharing, where in my previous video I've explained you why power sharing is desirable. So today we will be doing forms of power sharing. But before that, let me explain you why different forms of power sharing is essential. Well, children, for a long time it was believed that all power of a government must reside in one hand, that is, in one person or a group. That means it was believed that power should not be divided among different people. It should remain in the hands of one person, as it was felt that if power will be divided, then somehow it would not be possible to take a quick decision and to enforce it. But children, gone are those days. These notions have totally changed the world with the emergence of democracy. Today, the world follows democracy, and in democracy, you all know that people they rule themselves through various institutions of self-government. It is only in democracy that today everyone has a voice in shaping of public policies. That means under democracy, people have an equal right and everyone has the say in the democracy. So today in modern democracies, power sharing arrangement has taken a different forms. So if we talk about these different forms of power sharing which has been done or which has been found in our own country, so children, power sharing has a different forms. Like the power is shared among different organs of the government, and this sharing of power is known as the horizontal sharing of power. Then power is also shared among government at different levels, which is known as a vertical sharing of power. Then the power may also be shared among different social groups, and the power is also been shared among different political parties, pressure groups and movements. So let me explain you each form of a power sharing one by one. So let's begin with the first one, that is the horizontal sharing of power. Well, children, here power is shared among different organs of the government. You all are familiar with the different organs of government, that is legislature, executive and judiciary. You know, legislature, they make laws, executive, they implement the laws, and judiciary, they save the laws. And we call them as an horizontal distribution of power because it allows different organs of government which are placed at the same level, but they all exercise their own power. So children, such a separation ensures that none of the organ can have an unlimited power. Each organs have their own limited powers, and each organ also checks the others. Now when they check the others, this results in a balance of power among various institutions. So children, this arrangement is also called a check and balance system, where all three organs are placed together at the same level. Every organ has their own power and they keep a check on each other. Then the next we have when the power is shared among the different levels of government, which is also known as a vertical power sharing. Now over here, in most of the country, they divide the power of the government into different level. Like if we talk about our own country, our country follows a federal form of a government. And when we talk about a federal form of a government, we mean to say that to make the work of government easy, the government divide itself into different level. Like for the whole of the country, we have a central government or a union government. Then to make its work easy, the central government divides its power among the state government. So every state has their own government, so they have their own powers, of course, which is enforceable only in their particular government. Similarly, to make their work more easy, the state government, they have further divided their powers into the local self-government. And when we talk about a local self-government, we can say a municipality and panchayat. Like if you all remember that when we were doing the case study, then Belgium, they also divided the power among the central government, then state government, and of course they also divided among the community government. And while dividing the power among different levels have brought peace in their country. So, whereas if we talk about Sri Lanka, they refuse to divide their power. So children, this division of this, let's say a vertical division of power of the government makes the work of the government more easy. Then the third form of a power sharing is when power is shared among different social groups. Now when we talk about a different social groups, over here we mean to say the groups like religious group or linguistic groups. Like for example in Belgium, we read about community government, and this community government was actually a social group which was based on a religion. It was a religious based group. So children, when we talk about the social groups, in some countries there are constitutional legal arrangements whereby like socially weaker section and women, they are represented in legislature and administration. So this type of arrangement is meant to give space in the government and administration. Means if power is shared among different social groups, keeping in mind their religious and linguistic groups, so somewhere the, let's say the government, the central government and the administration, they could work on their part, and the religious matter and the linguistic can be taken or can be looked after by the social groups. So this type of arrangement gives the space to the government administration to diverse social groups who otherwise would feel alienated from the government. So children, this method is also used to give minority communities, let's say, a fair share in power. Otherwise, somewhere these communities, they are not able to come forward. Then the last form of power sharing is when the power is shared among different political parties, pressure groups and movements. You all are familiar with the political parties. If we talk about political parties like Congress, BJP, RSS, and if we talk about the pressure groups, these are the groups which pressurize the government, keeping a certain, or let's say bringing a certain matter in front of the government. And then we have a number of movements which start with certain motive and they come to an end once that motive is been fulfilled. Whereas pressure groups, they keep on working. So if we talk about these political parties, pressure groups and movement, they control, influence those in power. In democracies, let's say the citizens, they should have a freedom to choose among various people for the power. So this takes the form of competition among different political parties. Once the power is shared among different political parties, so these parties, they start competing with each other because everybody wants to come in power. So such competition ensures that power does not remain in one hand. So it's always good that power should always be, keep on changing. It should not remain in one hand. So competition always creates a feeling of, a good policies which could be brought by these political parties and could help the people. So in long run, power is shared among different political parties and they represent their ideologies, and same goes with the social groups. So children, sometimes this kind of sharing can be direct. When two or more parties, what they do, they form an alliance and then they contest the election. So if they form an alliance and contest the election, then they form a coalition government and thus they share their power. When two political parties, they merge together, they contest the election, they come in power, so that means they share the power. So in democracy, we find interest groups, a lot of interest groups which have been related with the traders, businessmen, industries, farmers, industrial workers. Their motive is that they are interested only with their own business. That means if they are facing any such problems or any kind of a problem, then these interest groups, they go and pressurize the government for their things to be fulfilled. Now they also will have share power in government power, either through a participation in governmental communities or bringing influence on the decision making process. As these interest groups, which are said to be pressure groups, they come forward and they influence the government because they pressurize or they motivate the ruling government to change their decision. So this is what we say a sharing of power. So children, when power has been shared, the things become more easy. The work could be done in a more well-defined manner.